have their hands full with the hosts.
Well, you'd hope they've ironed out some things. You'd hope they'd have got some of those bad games out of their system. As you see the schedule, great win for Puerto Rico earlier on, 77-70, tremendous game. We really enjoyed that one. Hopefully the Czech Republic can come out as focused as the Puerto Ricans did with a game plan. And that's my question is, what will be that game plan? Because player for player, they won't win. If they just play straight up, like, there's so much, unless the Serbians beat themselves. But even though Selarenski's one of the most promising guards in world basketball, and he's already at the level, but he's going up against Teodosic, he's going up against Markovic, and it's like for every one that the Czech Republic have, there's two in the rotation for Serbia. So, if the Serbians have had some issues in the past, it's sometimes they don't shoot a great percentage from the three-point line, but that's largely because they don't really use it as a major weapon. It's a late in the shot clock option for them. So if you're going to take that line, try and make it a low-scoring game. I think their ball control for the Czech Republic is going to be absolutely fundamental.
Serbia looking for its first Olympic berth in 12 years. It's fourth overall. The Czech Republic, as such, has never been to the Olympics. Czechoslovakia went to 6 prior Olympic Games, the last one in 1980 in Moscow.
Well, they're led out by the legend in Czech basketball in terms of Jerry Welsh. And if you saw the people like Carlos Arroyo playing possibly in their last national team stuff, Jerry Welsh is in that position. So he won't need any motivation to try and come up, and his big guard play could be a useful factor. But some of these guys, when we see their roster in a field, are going to have to put their bodies on the line on the inside and just use themselves. And there's about 4 or 5 guys on the inside who are very interchangeable.
One of them is Jan Vesely, who played here for Partizan for 3 years. His wife is from Belgrade. He has an apartment in Belgrade. Feels very comfortable here, speaks Serbian.
Yeah.
He needs to have a huge game. He hasn't had one yet.
Well, he's the one guy that's not interchangeable. There's other guys on this team that will be interchangeable, but he won't. He has to have a big game and play a lot of minutes. These guys know that. They'll go at Vesely early, whether it's Jokic, whether it's Stimac, whoever starts, Raluce, it doesn't matter. They're going to go at Vesely very early in the game.
As you see, head coach Sasha Djordjevic on the right. We talk about what it means to be the coach of the national team in Serbia with a great Yugoslavian and Serbian tradition of coaching. The shoes are huge, but he also played here. They love him here. So now all he's got to do is take him back to the Olympics.
Got a standing ovation just for walking in the gym, so that's where he's held in their estimation.
Now the national anthems of both nations. I imagine starting with the visitors, the Czech Republic. Kde domov můj, where is my home? Now the national anthem of the Republic of Serbia, Bože pravde, God of Justice.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Serbia.
Mexico was in the running to be one of the sides for this qualifying tournament, but they backed out at the last minute. Serbia swooped in, and they are now 2 wins away from realizing their Olympic dreams. And for captain Milos Teodosic, he's been playing great. We call him El Maestro because he's a conductor. He just runs things when he steps on the court in such a way. As we take a look at the very steady Daniel Irrezuelo from Spain in the middle, Fernando Rocha and Emir Mogulkoc of Turkey round out a very good crew so far this tournament. For Milos Teodosic, you wonder at some point they may use him more than usual. He's not needed necessarily. It's just fun to watch. And today have a chance to do it against the Czech Republic, a team that already had his way in that quarterfinals of Eurobasket 2015.
Yeah, it's an interesting, great dilemma to have if you're Coach Djordjevic, because often you play him as a 2 as well as a 1, as we get a first look at the complete roster for the Czech Republic. And Blake Schill, maybe underused yesterday, in the last game in the group. He's due a big game. He's going to have a big game at the 3. He's going to start, and Peter Bender. It's Peter Bender along with Alder and 2 or 3 other guys on the inside that will be interchangeable. Pavel Pumla's been a bit of a real bonus, because he's made a very positive contribution to that Czech roster that's orchestrated by Stanolenski.
And coached by Ronan Ginsberg, who now has been 11 years in the Czech Republic. He assisted coach Nimberg for 5 years, and then became the head coach for the rest of the winning championship.
That Serbia lineup from top to bottom is quality. Teodosic and Markovic in the backcourt are just out of the top drawer. Markovic is former under-19 world champion with Serbia. The starting lineup is always interesting because it can be quite interchangeable. But in terms of who started in this competition, that's literally the same lineup that has been out on the floor, except Kalinic gets a start tonight, and he hasn't started in all the games previously. Vesevic had an ordinary season pretty much in Spain, but Djokic is the man. Just get a look here at the women's team from Serbia. Some of those here at the game. These guys have got the luxury of having won women's Eurobasket and directly qualifying for the Olympic Games. And you've missed Coach Malkovic on that sort of. She's also in the arena sitting with those players. Here are the 2 players, and I think you said right at the beginning how good Djokic, you thought Djokic was going to be, and he's confirmed that with 14.5 points, 7 rebounds at 61%. He's the real deal. Satoransky off to the NBA, 8, 6, and 7.5 across the sort of stat line, just contributes across the roster, but he's going to have to get going from a points perspective.
Ginsberg, an Israeli, has been leading a team that now has won 13 straight championships, 11 with him as an assistant or a head coach. That's just incredible how they dominate that league in the Czech Republic.
And they're a good team, and they've done relatively well in club competition when they go outside of the Czech Republic without ever actually sort of getting to the later stages. Djordjevic, a much sought-after coach, if you believe some of the stories around. His whole focus at the moment is doing something that Serbia haven't done for a while, get to an Olympic Games. And when he gets there, he's not going for the experience, he's going for a medal.
Indeed, as he attempted as a player, 108 games representing his country. Still a very young coach, and very much in control here. A team that again has an abundance of talent, a number of players that could have well been here that are not, and it doesn't matter. That's just the Serbian way. Whoever's here, step up, get your job done. Puerto Rico is in, and they await the winner of the Czech Republic and host Serbia, as Vesely and Jokic will vie for the tip-off. Satoransky immediately picked up by Markovic. This is going to be a great matchup right there. Kalinic also with Schill. Kalinic, a teammate of Vesely in the Turkish league, as well as Bogdan Bogdanovic, who commits the first foul.
Well, that's why I think Shilb is just such an important piece of the Czech jigsaw puzzle in the switch, because of the good execution, and Vesely down low with a mismatch. They had to rotate. The pass was good enough, and they draw the contact. They've got to be that smart. They've got to be at that tempo.
The foul is on Kalinic, his first. Peter Benda, an undersized center. Vesely to Shilb. Satoransky, it's a 2, and Vesely mistimed the jump. Jokic gets the rebound. It's about as full a house as we've seen. 14,000 in the game against Puerto Rico, 10,000 in the Serbian game against Angola, both wins. And now I venture to say 15, 16,000 here. Bogdanovic misses, but the ball's back in his hands. Can't feed Jokic. And the runner goes. Serbia up 2-0.
Satoransky has got to start controlling tempo with the ball. So when he gets it back now, they're just going to get into the half court, spend some time with it.
Quick decision making. Benda, it's good. A 2-pointer to tie the game. Peter Benda.
Well, that's good, way past the midpoint of the shot clock. If they can't get a good option early, they've got to take some time with the ball.
Bogdanovic guarded by Pumperla. Jokic isolated against Vesely. Over him. It's in. Nice and easy. That's been the tournament for him. 21 years old, plays for the Denver Nuggets in the NBA. Intercepted by Kalinic. Doesn't have numbers. Markovic doesn't mind. And it's rebounded by Satoransky. He doesn't have numbers, but he's fouled by Jokic. Again, Satoransky, one of those masters at drawing fouls and provoking contact.
Yeah, and Jokic, that's all he can do. In that situation, he's got to take one for the team. Just love him down the offensive end, though. Vesely didn't play much defense, just said go over, so he did. Just shot it, made it.
Drops on the inbound. Shilb resets. It's a 3-pointer for the naturalized American Blake Shilb.
Again, good tempo. Past the midpoint of the shot clock again. They're spending some time with the ball. Shilb shot he wanted.
Oh, Jokic and the ball back into his hands. Bogdanovic with 10 seconds to shoot. Pounded, double team. Facing the basket for the bucket is Stefan Bercevic.
And I've been like, Bercevic is back here next year, but in terms of playing club basketball, but he was an okay contributor in the ACB, and he just wasn't given a primary sort of focus offensively. He stroked the 3 for most of the tournament, as well as anybody on this Serbian team.
He's the only partisan in a team full of Red Star players. There are 4 Red Star players and only a single partisan. That's Stefan Bercevic. The 2 big rivals in the KBL. Osarka, a miss by Pumperla.
That's the first time they've taken a shot in the first half of the shot clock so far.
Jokic scans. A cut, a beautiful feed by the big guy. And now Kalinic with the interception. Sloppy play by Shilb. No foul. Block by Pumperla. And the Czech avoid what looked like an easy 2 points by Serbia.
That's not the first time that we've seen Blake Shilb be casual out of bounds either. They've just got to play their best ever game for 40 minutes, and then they've got a shot here.
Nice defense by Bercevic. Extra pass, forced to, and Satoransky nails it. The 2-point Serbian lead now.
Nice option by Satoransky in his own time and space.
Bogdanovic, an early 3! He'll be playing for Fenerbahce again next year, but he will probably be joining the NBA shortly. His rights now belong to the Sacramento Kings. The ball deflected and out of bounds. It belongs to the Czech Republic with 11 to shoot.
They should get a 14, shouldn't they? I think it was kicked. Was it kicked? Or was it just deflected out of bounds?
Deflected, I think.
All right.
Satoransky. Markovic with active head, but also there was a foul.
Satoransky has the length on the inside. He could, and he will become a little stronger because he doesn't have the whip. So Markovic, he did foul, but he's got the chance to, come round, especially if he's taking it to his help.
Third foul by Serbia, none committed by the Czechs. Vesely, quickly, no good, rebounded by Jan. Outside of Satoransky. It's good! A three-pointer for Tomas. Kicked by Satoransky. He just received a 3-year deal from the Washington Wizards. He'll be the third guard behind Beal and, of course, John Wall. Great first step, heady player, developing his outside shot. He will get an outside shot. Hesitation by Bogdanovic, but he cannot finish. Nothing cheap in this game so far. High low pass, intercepted by Kalinic. Markovic gets fouled by Satoransky.
Personal foul number 8, Tomas Satoransky.
That's his first, that's a team's first.
It's a very poor decision by the other way around. Bender going to Vesely down low. You're absolutely fine because Vesely's got that little bit more length and can hold the space. Just if not there, this reverse the ball. As you see the tactical foul.
In comes Stefan Jovic for Serbia. He gets the rebound and lays it in against the backboard. 4-point Serbian lead, halfway through the first. Jovic, 25-year-old, played for Red Star. Chilled in traffic. Over to Benda. And the ball is out of bounds, and it belongs to Serbia.
Yeah, I don't think Bender forcing a shot or some of the other guys forcing shots. They've got to work to get the open looks. Teodosic's coming in, as is Jiri Welch.
Cleanly shaven, I should add. Milos Teodosic. Bertovic will take a breather. Jiri Welch, the captain for the Czech Republic, comes in as well.
I like this, the lineup that the Czech Republic have on the floor with Vesely, Shield, Jiri Welch and Satoransky, and another is probably their strongest lineup.
No fouls by Vesely yet. He reaches in and takes the ball out of bounds. 10 seconds to shoot for Serbia now. Again, we're going to be looking at half-court execution on both ends, on defense, on offense.
Yeah.
Not going to see too many runouts.
And there's a lot of guys here who know each other very, very well from club and number of national team.
And from facing each other in Eurobasket as well. Bogdanovic with a three. He is hot.
One of the things they should realize is that if Bogdanovic comes off of a screen like this, you've got to show. If you don't show, he's going to take that shot.
Satoransky in and out. Bogdanovic had a game in this tournament where he scored the first 4 3-pointers. He's made the first 2 now. Teodosic deflected by Satoransky, 16 to shoot, and now Ruben will come in for the Czech Republic.
The Czechs do want a timeout. They don't want a timeout with the Serbians in the half court at the offensive end. They don't want to give Djordjevic a chance just to draw something up. They will take the next timeout the other way around.
A foul by Ruben, hanging on the shoulder of Bogdanovic. Wojtek commits his first.
Here's what cancels it again. He does feel he needs, I think it's more about giving Satoransky a blow as much as anything else. Because he's going to be worked out by this, given a real workout by this Serbian defense.
Bounce pass to Teodosic. Bad shot, rebounded by Ruben. Never set himself for that shot. That's a rarity for Teodosic. Welch. Everybody forgot about him. He misses an open shot, and now with the first foul, and it is on
Nice holding
Jokic.
foul, yeah. Vesely went to the glass, they missed him, and then someone held him.
Personal foul, number 40,
And with the tactical foul, that's his second foul. So,
Wow.
that's good news for the Czech Republic. Bad news for Serbia, but you know they obviously have the rotations to try and deal with that. They're going to leave him in.
Team penalty, Serbia.
Ruben.
Ginsberg needed the timeout, and then he had the chance to run it on the side. He's chosen not to have it. I think he still needs it, but
Vesely. Was that a shot or a pass?
that's Franciscus from.
I'm not even sure Jan Vesely knows.
Well, from Georges Franciscus from Olympiacos has almost trademarked that sort of push, and it looks horrible, but he makes it all the time. I haven't seen Vesely take it before.
Teodosic gets everybody's attention and simplifies it for Jokic. That's the effect that Maestro has on the court. It's like a trance when he touches the ball. Inside to Vesely, quickly. Very nice decision by Jan Vesely.
That's great execution by the Czech Republic. It's exactly the sort of tempo. I know that Serbia have knocked down 19 points at a very good percentage, but the tempo and the pace of the game is good for the Czech Republic.
Bertovic. Rebounded by Jokic, and he gets it back, and he puts it back.
1 on 3 on the glass he was. Just got position. Very, very impressive.
He's been so efficient, he hasn't missed tonight. Welsh. Over to Ruben, in and out. Rebounded by Jokic. If he gets these stats, I mean, this youngster,
2 minutes.
Nikola Jokic, and all of a sudden you look up, and he's got a double-double, and he hasn't even played 20 minutes. A foul, and he makes it! Still perfect. The foul, Peter Benda.
Well, if Coach Ginsberg thought he needed a timeout, he should have stayed with his full. They were 5 down when he thought he needed it. They're now 9 down with 1 to come.
The foul on the veteran, the kid, 4 for 4, and the night is young in Belgrade.
It's about defense. We're taking then switch, but no foul when we're taking. Right? On offense, we are not too
And yes,
organized.
this is the thing, 2 things about the Czech Republic issues at the moment. They should be happy with the tempo. They've been boxed out a couple of times when they really give up offensive balls they shouldn't have. Ginsberg wanted to take his time out. He should have gone with it, especially as he had the end-line possession. And like we talked about this last night, they brought Lucas Aliza, and he said he brought him just for the Japan game.
Anticipating that Japan was going to play zone, as they did.
Well, they've had some open looks from the 3-point line again, because the Serbians will collapse on Vesely. Really will help from the weak side. They will run defense how you'd expect the team to run. So if they move the ball, they will get some closeouts and some space. Well, if he can shoot an open shot last night, they might only get 2 out of him tonight. Put him in early, see if you can get something going. You're now in the game where you're 9 down with 1 to come. You could be 10 points down. You haven't looked at him, and he had a great night last night. It doesn't matter if it's Japan or Serbia, an open shot is an open shot.
Aliza scored 22 points against Japan, making 6 of 14 threes. As we have a substitution, Patrick Auda coming in for the Czech Republic. Really, they've only played with 7 players until Auda now stepped onto the court. And 2 of those 7 had only played a couple of minutes, as Jokic will take a break and Radulica will come in. Miroslav, and he owes his team another good game too.
And Shield has been sitting down for a while. He's one of the few guys who can stroke it and started relatively well. It's easy to sit here and talk about it, but it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Satoransky looking for the alley-oop. It's prevented, but there's a foul by Stefan Jovic.
Satoransky had the layup because the whole defense just parted, expected him to pass the ball, and he didn't.
His first, and now it's the team's 5th with 1.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. 10-point Serbian lead.
You get the replay of the pass. There's 3 white shirts around Vesely when he tried to make it. It's almost Vesely needs that type of
He misses his second. Nice hustle by Ruben. Another possession by the Czechs inside the Vesely. Oh, and he stripped, but he was fouled, and Vesely made a quick gesture like he was in pain. Seems to be a little shaken up. Bercevic with his first, and again, because Serbia is over the limit, Jan will go back to the line. He says that he's been talking to Bogdanovic and to Kalinic all year long. As soon as Serbia was announced as the draw and the Czechs were here, that they've been talking about it and kidding about it and kidding about it. They said the last couple of days they stopped communicating with each other as they knew they were going to face each other here.
And for me, you know, he has issues on the free throw line. He's had some horrendous games in big games. 1 from 10 in the final, and
1 for 4 so far.
And he's a 60%. So if you're big and 60%, you're going to get fouled a lot. And he's got a good action. He's got to just get down and work hard and just become a more efficient shooter.
Bercevic. Milosic, what a pass. Radulica thinks about it and makes it. Nice decision. An 11-point Serbian lead. 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Ruben. Huge rebound by Bercevic. What a leaper. Inside, intercepted by Vesely. Jovic tries to get Satoransky to go left. Easier said than done. And Welsh settles him down. He's 35. Now he plays for Nymburk in the Czech League. Happy to be there. Happy to be here. Wants to keep playing. And it's good. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. 9-point Serbian lead.
Well, that release was a little quick for Jerry Welsh at this stage, but that's what he's done his whole career.
A reach-in foul by Jerry Welsh.
And they had a foul to give, so you know you can see the reasons to get aggressive with 7, 6, whatever seconds to go on the period.
So now Pavel Hoška comes in for the Czech Republic for the last 7 and 7/10 of a second. Bogdanovic, see if they can get some shooting in the perimeter. Bercevic will take a breather as well.
So unless someone's wide open on the inside, who's bet against Teodosic finding Bogdanovic?
But he's denied. Now he gets it. 3 seconds. Inside. Wild pass out of bounds. Leaves 7/10 of a second.
That's a great effort by Jerry Welsh. Give him all the credit for that. He just denied him, and he had to force him to rush it.
Ruben. And that is the end of the first quarter. Serbia in the lead, up 9 against the Czech Republic. Serbia shooting 58%, the Czech Republic 44%. It's a 9-point Serbian lead.
Well, these stats are going to look good if you're a Serbian fan, 67%. And as we said, tempo is important for the Czech Republic, but you've got to limit them to 1 and out, and you've got to be a little, some pressure on the basketball, as they did at the end, so that the pass is not too easy. And it's got to be 1 and out, because you're going to go down the other end and spend some time with the basketball. And it still cannot understand the thinking behind not playing Baliza at all. I just think it's worth a look, because you've now got people like Haruban and Alda coming up with like threes at the deep in the shot clock. They just say, oh, they're just not ready. They're not. That's not their game week in, week out. But if Police shoots the 3, throw him in there, see what you get. But you've got to say that Bogdanovic started the game as he started the whole tournament. Him and Jokic have been so consistent with the Serbian team. Their percentages are good every week, every game, and it's difficult to see unless Shield plays a lot and scores, and and they limit them to one shot and out, how the Czechs are going to close this to a point where the Serbians have to think about what they're trying to do. At the moment, they're not in that thinking mode. They're coming down the floor, spinning the ball around, getting open looks.
26-year-old Lucas Paliza was the latest and last addition to the team. He replaced David Jelinek. Was a late scratch as well. Jelinek, a big man for the Czechs. Paliza had a tough game against Latvia. He played only 4 minutes, no points, 2 rebounds, 2 fouls. As a matter of fact, didn't even attempt a shot. Now, against Japan, 22 points in 23 minutes. Basically didn't miss anything. So, Schild will start the second quarter. Along with Hauska, Ruben, Welsh, and Auda.
Malkovich on the right there, the head coach of the women's team, already punched her ticket with last year's Eurobasket win.
Backdoor, Kalinic cannot close the deal. So Schild and Welsh as the main ball handlers for the Czechs right now. Nice screen, but Schild is a marked man today. Auda, it's good! A three-pointer by Patrick.
Yeah, they're going to need to get some offense from somewhere because Satoransky and Vesely out of the game at the same time.
26-year-old plays for Manresa in the Liga Endesa in Spain. Teodosic all the way. And it belongs to the Czechs. Just ran out of room.
And Ruben does a really nice job at not fouling here. The temptation there is to try and swap the ball, and he didn't. He just went up straight.
Schild getting a lot of attention. The ball's deflected by Bogdanovic. 11 seconds on the shot clock for the Czechs.
And as soon as that double team starts to develop, his teammates have to see the basketball. They've got to move to be able to see it. And then he can move it out and they can find the open man.
Hauska, a three. Inside. But Hauska wasn't ready, but it was last touched by a serve. If I saw how Hauska make that three, I mean, Auda three, followed by Hauska with another three. I mean, the Czechs are not great three-point shooters.
No.
And much less those two.
Yeah, if you're Serbia, you'll let them take those. Djordjevic will want a hand up, but that's about it.
Welsh. Three to shoot. There comes the three. Grazes the rim.
But they're in credit at the start of this period. They've got, they've closed it to a 6-point game. They can't let this happen, though.
Bogdanovic with the flush. And the pass by Rauljica. Hauska wide open again. The one-handed, one-arm shot. And the foul is on Kalinic. Holding on to Ruben. Djordjevic doesn't agree. He's appealing to the other two referees to see if they can jump in and change some minds.
Well, let's have a look.
He held them.
Yeah. Palms again. It's easy. As soon as you turn your palm, it's an easy call for the official. Far too quick the shot, though.
Welsh, a little hesitation. Oh, misunderstanding between him and the repositioning Schild. Satoransky will come back into the game, but there's a timeout by Sasha Djordjevic. His team is up by 8 in the second quarter.
You see, you get the replay. And as a team, penetration happened, no one moved again. You can't see the ball. And it's something that we've commented on in every single game that the Serbians play. Their defense is as well coached as they spend as much time getting their rotations, their rules on the floor defensively, so that if they get broken down, they know how to react, they know how to rotate, they know how to scramble. Every passing lane is contested, and unless you move, there is no pass. So the first couple of possessions of this half, this quarter, Czech Republic moved the ball pretty well. As soon as Jerry Welsh puts it on the floor, they're into a different scenario. And unless they move, the Serbian defense is in control of where the ball is. And it's a joy to watch. And the other thing that is absolutely phenomenal, and they've done it to every team, their movement away from the ball. Everyone gets frozen on looking at the ball. People move. As soon as you turn your head, someone cuts, and they're so good at making the pass.
If you're coaching against Serbia, that's the one instruction that you have to hammer and remind your team, don't look at the ball as much as you're supposed to, right?
Well, you've got to know where it is.
Right.
But you cannot lose sight
of your man.
Yeah.
Bogdanovic from the elbow. He's going to show us the repertoire tonight.
Well, if you get hot, when he gets hot, it's a lot of points coming.
He's got a third of his team's points, Satoransky. Inside, Auda. Tough shot for Tomas. And Kalinic wipes the board.
Every shot's going to be a tough shot. That was great rotation.
Ali, and a nice move by Raudica. The assist by Teodosic. Wonder why he shaved all of a sudden for the semifinals. Just a change of pace. Inside, and a beautiful pass. Hoshka finishes.
You know, Shield gives you that little bit more threat on the dribble because he handles it so well for a small forward. And he did the same thing. Everyone got a little bit frozen looking at the ball.
Bogdanovic to no one in particular, and here comes Satoransky. Teodosic follows. No good, but Auda with the putback. The mistake by Bogdanovic turns into points. Now, speaking of which, Czechs have 4 turnovers, and the Serbs have only made 4 points off those 4 turnovers. Foul, tactical foul by Teodosic.
Personal foul.
Slow things down.
Lisa's in the game. It's the guy that couldn't miss last night. It's taken him 14 minutes to see the floor. And I know that he's going to go out there and probably turn it over and not get a shot away, but in the circumstances that the Czechs are faced with, they've got to come up with something that is a little bit out of the box, but in terms of when they're being looked at by the Serbian team.
Well, Mark, you were right behind Ronan Ginsburg, behind their bench. He must have heard you after all. Here comes the serve. Nedovic gets the foul by Palisa, his first.
Why on earth did Palisa foul him?
And Ginsburg's, man, he's actually looking down the bench to see if he can replace him, but he just put him in. Bad pass by Shield.
He's behind the backboard.
And that would have been a very difficult shot for Nedovic anyway, as it was.
Something that's not difficult for Nedovic is the free throws. I mean, Nedovic is 75, 80%, depending on which stats you take out of which competition. And he's normally a very, very, very solid free throw shooter.
These are the first free throws he attempts in 3 games. Serbia unbeaten, beating Puerto Rico in game 1, then handling Angola easily. High-low, intercepted, but back into the hands of Palisa. Step-back shot, no good. Another mistimed jump by Vesely, but a foul on Bertovic. That is his second. And I'll tell you what, Serbia reached the limit early in the first quarter. They may do so at the midway point of the second quarter as well, at this rate.
It's almost, they know about, they get to that point and they know how to play slightly less aggressive when they're in the penalty.
The Czechs have only attempted 4 free throws, though, and they've only made 1. They need every point tonight. A shove and a foul by Vesely. Unnecessary. Unnecessary roughness.
He's been called for it. He's had 2 group games coming into this. He's been called for this foul at least 3 times already. He mistimes it and
doesn't set himself.
No,
bangs into the guy.
Yeah, he looks for contact. He looks for too much contact.
He likes to hammer opponents in the screen. Nedovic flares out. Oh, he blew just right by Palisa, but he cannot finish.
Well, that's why Palisa doesn't play a lot. He just couldn't close out and contain at all.
Satoransky does not feel comfortable going left. A fake, a drive by Auda, and a kick ball by Radulica. 10-point Serbian lead. Radulica had trouble in game 1 against Peter John Ramos of Puerto Rico. He fouled out very quickly. completely ineffective in that game. Played a little bit better against Angola. Aliza, back to Satoransky. It's good! A three-pointer by Tomas. Because the deficit to 7 halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, and they got the reaction then, and Satoransky's open, so he gets an open three with Lucha coming on a long closeout. He's not going to cope with that.
Teodosic with a little hesitation, freezing everybody. He likes the attention of the opposing defense. He thrives in it. And he plays at a different timing. He sees things slow down in front of him. He figures things out. Just knowledge here. Palisa. That's his shot, but he's short.
Yeah, he's got to take it, and they got the open look.
Cross court to Teodosic. Rebounded by Vesely. Inside to Auda, who loses the handle. And the ball belongs to Serbia with a 9-point lead.
Poor pass, wasn't it, by Satoransky in transition. Auda ran the floor really, really well.
Just a little low for a big man.
Yeah.
Auda may not look large next to Satoransky, but he plays in the power forward position. With Vesely now guarding Barulitsa. Cross court to Vercevic. They try to post up Vesely, double team. Auda shows up. That was a foul, finally called. And Auda has the guilty party.
See, Vesely had contained him here. He's between the basket and if you're going to go down and take the space away, you don't foul him there. He's going to have to make a tough one or look for the open man. He's got nowhere to look.
Did you see, though, Vesely fishing for that ball when all he had to do was just keep vertical? That's when he gets into foul trouble.
I think Vesely is very hard to, he's a great player and everything. He's looking for too many great plays all the time. Just play solid defense.
Showy plays.
You don't need that steal in that situation. I'm sure someone at some stage has told him you're not going to get that very often, so don't do it.
9 to shoot. Out to Teodosic. Baseline. Another tough shot. Put back by Vercevic. Vesely out of position briefly, and that's all it took for an 11-point Serbian lead and a timeout by Ronan Ginsberg of the Czech Republic.
Well, as we've said before, the number of times you see a poor shot result in an offensive rebound because the defense doesn't have a chance to react. But to go back to that, the Vesely point, if he's going to play lots of minutes, he's got to play 35 minutes in this game if they're going to have any hope. So he's already sealed. He's not going to get beaten going past. If Ilicha makes it over him, great. If the rule is out, he's going to come and down. If he's got the license to go and he fouls out, that's no big deal. But even then, they took his whole space away and they bowed him out with a cheap foul.
Stay vertical and then go for the defensive rebound if it's there.
Force a tough shot, and then if you force tough shots, you just box out. And it's the same thing with this high-low option. They got it first play of the game, and there was a foul. And they're looking for it. So the whole of the Serbian defense will drop and take that away. Why not post up? Why not post up, get position, get an angle, and go to work? And there's the alley with a small loop.
And look at the attention that Teodosic draws and how easy it is for his teammate to just take a little walk, a stroll through the Belgrade.
It's like most of the people in the gym would have made that layup because the pass is right on the money.
You took a stroll through Belgrade yesterday.
Yeah, most of the people in that stroll in Belgrade would have made that layup.
And you enjoyed it.
Oh, it's a beautiful place. You go down by the river, it's just a lovely, I'd recommend it. It's a beautiful place to go.
I tell you, again, the weather in Belgrade has been beautiful this time of the year. Nice people, good food, beautiful city. Foul on Vercevic.
Much better option for him there. He caught it and just made a rip-through move. Didn't, he'd have had a layup or a pull-up jump shot. He's good enough. He's such a talented player.
The fourth foul on Serbia.
They just need to tick the scoreboard over. They need to be a little closer than the 11 points. If they can get this into single digits going into the half, they're in the game.
Team penalties, Serbia.
Benda just took his eye off the ball. 8 to shoot. Satoransky at midcourt. Jovic guarding it. Oh, that ball is good. Kalinic just looking under the cylinder. Can't do that.
A stop. You know, I got 3 minutes to go. Get down, limit. Got to limit Serbia to 1 shot now.
Bogdanovic deflected and intercepted. Here comes Kumperla ahead to Vesely. Back to Satoransky, and he misses a chippy.
Well, you drew it up and you said that's what they needed to do. They do it and they miss a layup. It's a long old road back if you miss those types of shots.
Another deflection by Vesely. And now a timeout by Sasha Djordjevic with 14 seconds to shoot. And his team up by 9.
As soon as Teodosic sits down, there's more deflection. There's more little passes that aren't quite on the money. It's just the difference between being a true great player, true great guard, and good guard, which you've got many of.
And there are more Czech defenders staying home with their guy.
Yeah, they don't have the same fear. And they don't have to worry so much about losing sight of their player because the guards won't find him as quickly as he does.
So let me ask you a question. If you were Ronan Ginsberg, why don't you turn Teodosic into a shooter?
Well, that's what a lot of people try to do.
And then?
And then there are issues, and that's when Serbia have. If you go back last year, they were dominant in the first phases of Eurobasket. They went through, they cleaned up their group. They beat Spain, the eventual champions, by 10. And then they lost a semi-final game. And here's an example. He can score if you're expecting him to pass. And he can find people, as we saw earlier on, with the alley-oop and the nice pass. It's just that he's got that little bit extra in terms of ability to make the right pass, make the right decision.
And I will say something else. Not only does he make that decision, but the result is usually demoralizing for an offensive defense. Just demoralizing. He just takes the air out of your defense.
Everybody's percentages go up when he's on the floor because the pass and the decision he makes it easy for you as the person who's supposed to score, whether it be Bogdanovic on the perimeter, Jokic on the inside, Kalinic in transition. All those guys already in this game have benefited from getting the pass right on the money from Teodosic. It's just a different level.
Kumperla with his first foul. 4th team foul for the Czechs. Jovic pursued by Satoransky. Jokic back on the court now for Serbia. And he takes the offensive board, he gets hammered, and he gets the foul.
So if you're running Ginsberg now, you're like, okay, Teodosic's in the game, he played everybody straight up then, okay? He should have made the layup. I mean, there's no, Jovic should have made the layup, but he didn't. 1 on 3 again, and Jokic gets an offensive rebound. So you just gotta, it's a relentless bit. One breakdown will get punished. And we've talked about this before as well. Even though we say that the Serbian team is pretty interchangeable, there are not many times in crucial where there's not 2 of the best 3 guys on the floor, like at the moment Jokic and Bogdanovic. So there's always that balance, always the ability to go to one of your better players.
Jokic averaging 19 minutes, 14.5 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game. Vesely aggressive, and he gets the foul. Kalinic, I believe, the guilty party.
Yeah, that was the play. He was trying to get this ball. Great rip through, great first step, went strong, and picks up the 2+1. The game doesn't have to be complicated. If you'd have rebounded at the other end, we'd have been going, what a great effect he's had. Now he's just balanced that out and misses the throw again.
He keeps missing free throws. He is now 1 for 5 at the charity stripe.
There are people who can help Vesely with his free throw if he wants to work at it. You can get lots of people to improve his free throw.
How about underhanded? Bogdanovic. Vesely almost basket. Well, it's a ball. They think there's a foul here in Belgrade. Intercepted by Jovic. Inside, and the foul! Jokic is a one-man wrecking machine.
And that is how to run secondary break, because again, he's doing a great job. But the decision by Nedovic here, had an open look, the change of angle, fed it to him on a plate. He finishes really well. They recognize they're going to go to him, and he is just a great target. And so now you've got Teodosic and Djokovic on the floor as Bogdanovic sits down. So it looks like they're rotating everybody. So they've always got balance, always got threat.
Radulica now will come in for, interesting, for Kalinic. So now we have Radulica and Jokic together.
And Jokic going to the 4 is a really nice option if we're looking forward to what this team might be able to achieve in the future. That's a nice combination.
Radulica will be guarded by Peter Benda for the last minute and a half of this first half. Vesley, they pull the chair and he ducks it, and then he stares at the opponent. And he has more words to say. Remember, he speaks Serbian. Does it with a smile. Vesley is, in Slavic languages, means happy, hurtful. Satoransky doing a fine job on Tomas today. Fourth rebound, 10 points. But he's very uncomfortable. Now Nedovic guards him. Intercepted.
Needs a bit of help on that play. He got to the baseline. There was a big line down the middle of the floor, wide open. And
Vesley has to go get that.
yeah, 4 blue shirts stood still.
Back door, and he lays it in. Radulica reversing roles with Nedovic.
And that's what happens. When you give it up, people give it up to you.
A 12-point Serbian lead at the end of the half. Welsh, 5 to shoot. Tomas, back to Yeri. It's in! Welsh with a 3. It's now to a 9-point lead with 10 seconds to go in the second quarter. Jokic is going to attempt a 3. He has to at the end of that quarter. So it's a less than 10-point lead for the Serbs. 45-36. Serbia shooting 50% from the floor. The Czechs are not far behind at 47% overall. 9 turnovers, however, for the Czech Republic. And a 13-4 advantage for Serbia on points off turnover.
Well, and we said before the game, the only thing the Serbians sometimes struggle with is the 3-point line. Take Bogdanovic out of the equation, and they're not hitting 3s. So that's good if you're the Czech Republic. The rebound battle is a battle, and it's pretty even. But as you said, the turnovers, 9-point game, 5 more turnovers. There's pretty much, there it is, right there and then. And then there've not always been turnovers that have been generated by great defense. Satoransky's had a really, Hacky said anything about this guy, leads every stat on that first page of rebounds and assists and points.
And the rebounding category, it's trouble for the Czech Republic if he leads you on rebounds.
Well, I mean, to an extent, but they are holding their own on the glass. It's pretty much tied up on the glass. Bogdanovic is the only one who's made the 3, so you expect him to start packing the middle at halftime, because if they play like this, it's going to be another 9-point, it'll be an 18-point win for Serbia. So let's see if someone else can make a 3 without the wide open assist. So pack the middle, see if Serbia can make the 3, because there is that little bit of an Achilles heel there by their own high standards. Down the other end, I think Vesley extending and putting it on the floor is a good option. Straightforward post up. They don't need to try and make the Hollywood play of going for the alley-oop too often. And it's, maybe Police is still an answer. They need to get over. 36 points, 72 is pretty much what the Czechs average. 45 going for 90 is just over what the Serbs. So statistically, the game really reflects what we expected before the game. The Czechs have to change something.
The Serbs have missed 9 of 12 three-pointers. Satoransky scoring for the Czech Republic from behind the arc. They have made 5 of 13. That's a strong point for the Czechs. And Jokic, again, having his way. 11 minutes. 14 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. It's been a great first half. Serbia leads the Czech Republic by 9. We'll be back with the third quarter coming up next.
Bolje hvataš nego što bacaš. Ajmo, ovo je tvoja šansa. Bravo, ali za malo. Okej, sljedeći takmičar je Luka, ali ti si pozvao pomoć prijatelja. To je u redu. Izvoli. Pa baš sam iznenađen što si njega izabrao. Može, ajde. Sad si već povedio. Šutiraj da kročiš. Bravo, majs, boši sa pola terena. Ali ne damo ti ništa bolje. I patike dobija Luka, sigurno. Može, bez gledanja, ajde. Opa! Prvi put je bilo dovoljno. Veliki aplauz za Luku. Luka, dođi vam. Ali, Luka, ti dobiješ da šutiraš odavde. Ajde šutni jednom da kao hoćeš. Hoćemo tebe da vidimo. Bravo, majstore. To je. Ajde, još jednom idem. Terena sa terena. Bravo! Veliki aplauz za Luku. Dođi, majstore. Dobio si posebne patike. Ok, izlikamo se svi. To su patike PIK. Kompanija PIK poklanja patike marke Miloš Teodosić. Te ove patike, a Luka? Ajmo još jedan veliki aplauz za Luku.
And it wants to go.
Da li ste se spremili za navijanje u drugom poluvremenu? Let's hear some Czech fans. Are you ready? Pitame vas, panovci. Zlata Branka nejkršći.
Ready for the third quarter to start here in the second semifinal. Puerto Rico already into the final tomorrow night at the same time this game started, which is 9 o'clock local time. Puerto Rico beat Latvia into the finals. They await the winner of this matchup between host Serbia and the Czech Republic. Reminder, Serbia is looking for its fourth Olympic berth, first in 12 years. They had a silver medal in the Atlanta 1996 games and finished 11th in the Athens Olympics. The Czech Republic, as such, for its first Olympic berth, as Czechoslovakia, they went to 6 different Olympic games. Now they're looking for the first of the Czech Republic, but they are down 9 at the end of the half against the host. And you mentioned that your sense is that they're going to start allowing more free reign to the Serbian shooters just to make sure that they clog up the paint.
Well, they've got to clog the paint up because Serbia has scored a large percentage of their points in the paint. The other thing they have to do is take care of the basketball because the 13 points from turnovers against this Czech lineup. So take care of the basketball, make them shoot jump shots. That might give them a chance to get back in the game. If they play them up and down, Serbia wins this game. They've got to change it. That's the only way I can see them doing it.
No changes for the Czechs on their starting lineup for the second half. Vesely quickly misses. Cannot finish with the offensive board either.
And Jokic is the only guy with foul trouble, so it would be good to go at it. He's on 3 fouls. Try and get Vesely just to go at him properly, though. Post him up, try and draw some contact.
Teodosic will start the second half. Normally he doesn't do that. Markovic. Back to Milos. It's in. I guess that answers the question if you let him shoot.
Well, yeah, but he was 0 for 4 in the first half. So, you'll take 1 for 5. I'm sure he'll make another one, but...
Hesitation, shot by Pumperla. Pavel Pumperla with a score.
I tell you, Pumperla's stock, if that's the way to word it, has risen during this tournament. In terms of him, carving out a career in better clubs in Europe, this tournament will definitely help him. He's had a really nice series of games.
Plays for Estudiantes in the Endesa League in Spain. Another shot. It's a 3.
We'll take 2 for 6. Well, you might not, but someone of his quality, you dodge the bullet when you go 0 for 4.
How is he defensively? He's got a guard Pumperla now.
There's not a lot Teodosic can't do. He doesn't look the best athlete in the world, but he's just, his angles are so smart.
Inside to Silv, lost the handle. Bad pass. Bogdanovic will race Benda. He loses the handle himself. Now he floats it. And Bergevich gets the offensive board. Another offensive board for the Serbs. Markovic in rhythm. Just flirts with the rim. And a tactical foul by Bogdanovic. So Italy playing at home, facing Mexico, and with a 10-point lead at the half.
Yeah, and you'd expect Italy, in the same way when we came here to Belgrade, we'd have expected Serbia to make the final game. Mexico are going to have to come up with something different to get back in that, in the same way the Czech Republic are here.
Benda with a 3. It's in for Victor Benda as Vesely hits the board, and he has to be wide clean.
Benda can roll back the years because there were times on this Czech national team where he was the one of the go-to guys point-wise. He can score, just can't do it the whole time, can't do it as consistently, but they needed that 3.
It amazes me that at 2 meters 3, which is 6'8", he plays essentially the center position for the power forward.
Yeah, and he has to do more of the center stuff because Vesely wants to be the 4, not the 5. So it gives him a dilemma. But Benda's one of those guys who'll do whatever he's asked to do for the national team.
Teodosic to 3 off the dribble. Jokic is there, tipped by Vesely into the hands of Bogdanovic.
At the moment, Jokic looks like a quality NBA player. Vesely doesn't.
Slip. Teodosic flies in and makes it. He's showing off right now as a shooter. And now he gets run over by Pumperla. Vesely. Still battles, but Jokic will not be denied. Jokic now with his 6 rebounds to accompany 14 points.
And then you ask, when did it become, so easy for Jokic to play at both ends? He's come out of the half and no body's been put on him. And now he's down low of a mismatch. Looks like he's sucking air a little bit.
Another shot, another make, another 3, and another timeout by Ronan Ginsburg. You must have heard the commentary.
Well, the thing about it is it's just Teodosic is a great player. He's going to make shots sooner or later.
I have not seen him as offensive-minded as in this stretch. Teodosic right now, 13 points.
The combination with Markovic and Teodosic in the game at the same time, which was used a lot, when they've been on the national team together, frees him up a little bit. But can you imagine the scenario? Markovic will come down the floor, and after they've looked at some options, halfway through the shot clock, you've got Teodosic with the basketball, and he can assess his options. He can make a penetration or a shot himself, but he then creates some people late in the shot clock. I think it's a combination that going forward, if they make the Olympic Games, that they're going to have to use a lot more. It takes a little bit of pressure off Teodosic, because otherwise he's being asked to handle it and score, and that's when you're going up against the best in the world, that's too much of an ask every game.
Yuri Welsh is on the court for the Czech Republic. So is Patrick Auda, and it's intercepted by Teodosic. And the ball is just loose, and it comes off the serves. It belongs to the Czech Republic.
When Teodosic is fully engaged, the ball is almost like a magnet to him. Offensively, defensively, he comes up with things at both ends of the floor.
Auda, the lefty, can't finish. Now Yuri Welsh, captain, will be guarding captain. Regarding Teodosic. Shake and bake by Bogdan. Inside, and a block by Benda. All out of bounds. Belongs to the serve with 2 seconds to shoot. Now they're pretty good at these out of bounds play underneath their own basket. Let's see if the Czechs are ready.
You've got a lot of people who can catch and shoot on the floor.
Including Jokic, who's struggling with Peter Benda. Teodosic, step back shot. Put back by Markovic.
It's tough to box out the inbounder. All of a sudden, 17-point game. If the Czechs don't score on this trip, Ginsburg might need to burn another timeout.
Welsh, tough shot. It's in. Defense by Teodosic, better shot by Yuri Welsh. Benda giving up so much against Jokic. Tipped off by Auda. Here comes Pumperla, and the tactical foul by Milo Teodosic. It's his second. That is the team's second. Kalinic will come back in.
Substitution Serbia. Kalinic for the
Brozovic will take a break, and Rosica will be coming in as well. Jokic get a break.
And Teodosic, Bogdanovic, Markovic, they share those tactical fouls out so well that you have very few opportunities to run in transition. They force you into a half-court game where their defense is just as second to none.
Cross court to Aouda. Another long-range shot from Patrick.
Well, they definitely needed the stop and the tee. Now they're back to a manageable number of 12. Need to get over the hump.
We'll find out. Kalinic. Wow.
Well, all of a sudden, the lid that was on the basket from the three-point line at one end has just been taken off. Everybody's stroking, but wide open because of the ball movement.
5th assist for Milo Teodosic. He leads all players in this game. Aouda again. Rebounded by Ben, then he's fouled by Radulica.
That's where Radulica struggles sometimes. A little bit more mobility to go into the glass. He's got to find his man early. If he lets his man get some movement going, he struggles to put a body on him.
Radulica just settled his contract with Panathinaikos. He is a free agent. He's looking potentially for a spot in the NBA with all these players from overseas joining the NBA this season. Aouda intercepted by the great anticipation of Markovic. They take away his right, pocket pass, off the foot of Aouda. 17 seconds to shoot for Serbia.
And there's the difference, because they let Markovic go a long, long way. And then you turn that around the other way, he's fouled. And as much as I don't like that, that's the way the rules are. And you're now in control because the ball's on the sideline. I think it's something that you've just got to use it. As the rule stands, you've got to use that foul.
Foul on Benda on the drive by Bogdanovic.
Personal foul number 4, Petr Benda. His third, team's first. 2 shots, Bogdanovic.
And until Benda flapped his arm, the referee might let that develop and let it go.
Bogdan Bogdanovic is listed at 1.97 m. That's about 6'5".
6'9", it's about 6'6", just over.
6'5", 6'6". He doesn't even look it. But he's a great shooter.
That puts him at the same sort of height as me, and I feel big. He looks small out there.
Yes.
That just puts you in perspective of the size he's playing with.
Well, vertically or horizontally?
Well,
Okay.
both at this stage. Definitely both now.
It's a 17-point Serbian lead. Nedovic and Bogdanovic together, and the foul drawn by Ruben. The foul is on Bogdanovic.
Personal foul number 7, Bogdanovic. His second, team's fourth.
This is a very interesting combination when they put Nedovic and Bogdanovic together. They're both speedsters. They're not going to mess around. They're going to make very sharp cuts. But if they both attack, they crowd each other out, too.
Oh, then the thing about when you've got Bogdanovic on the floor is you have to space away from him. Because otherwise, there's too many people who can scramble if you are setting screens that you can flare off and things. But they do it as well as anybody. Their spacing is so good. Their reading of situations is so good that they very rarely crowd each other. The middle is often open. It should always be open with these guys.
This group of Serbians that are now 15 points in the lead, 3:10 to go. Which side of the court in this tournament have you seen them execute better, on offense or on defense?
Oh, I think their defense in the first game in various quarters against Puerto Rico was
outstanding.
Outstanding, because they decided they were going to work Barrea out, and that was they just shared it. They all moved. Offensively, their movement away from the ball just makes you, just enjoy it, because those assists are so good to watch. You see the movement away from the ball. I don't know if they have. And again, post-up stuff at the moment is not, you don't see a lot of just traditional post-up basketball.
Three by Welsh. Kalinic's close was very good. The closing by Serbia is good. That was an even better shot by the captain.
Jerry Welsh, if this is his last international game, if they lose this, he's going out with a very, very good performance. 10 points, 2 from 2 from beyond the arc.
You figure he'll be playing in Eurobasket.
Well, he'll definitely play qualifiers if they make the final, and that's another way he could end his career.
Bogdanovic tipped up by Vesely. Auda, not stopped. Gets ahead of steam. Inside to Satoransky. It's good. Now it's a 10-point game with 2:02 to go in the third. And Alexander Sasha Djordjevic calls a timeout.
The great thing if you're the Czech team here is that you haven't played great in many aspects of the game. They've had a good quarter of serves from the three-point line. You now closed it to a 10-point game. If you go in the fourth quarter and you're still around 8, 10 points, then Serbia have to think about how to win the game as opposed to how to manage the game.
That was just the 6th fast break point of this game. Only 4 for the Czechs and only 2 for Serbia.
And now you've got guys on the floor apart from Nedovic. You can't keep making that technical, the tactical foul. They've had a couple each, so they're out of those now. Nedovic is the guy who would have to step up. He wasn't around.
Djordjevic's rotation awfully short today, essentially 7 men.
Five for you.
With an 8th spelling. The fact they may have a game tomorrow night, you don't factor that. At this point, you got to win this one.
Yeah, I think he's the one thing that Serbian coaches always talk about is you have to respect your opponent and you don't mess around. Because
you don't think about tomorrow if you have to win today.
Well, you do, but you got to win today first. At the moment, he's only up 10 now. The Czech Republic is a team they would expect to beat. They would favor to beat, but they can't take them lightly because there are guys like Satoransky, guys that can get hot. You can't take them for granted. You don't want to lose an upset because you've been messed around into the fourth quarter.
The second quarter ended up in a 19-all tie. This quarter, the Serbs are leading by the minimum. Radulica and a foul. I think it's on Ruben. Yes.
It is on Ruben.
Second foul on him. And the team's second. Serbia has 4 fouls. Wow, he just took Jan Vesely, sent him on a vacation.
Yeah. It's almost, and this is a very, to an extent, unfair in some ways to make a demand of it, but for the next 11, nearly 12 minutes, Vesely has just got to own the middle, and he's got to play big. He's got to play like a big man and own the middle.
Right now, he only owns an apartment here in Belgrade.
Yeah. And if he does that, then they have a chance because they were really on a bit of a roll then until he didn't play. He didn't play like a man who was trying to own the middle. And again, it sounds like we're giving him a hard time. He's a great player.
Well,
but he's playing against great players, so he has to play at that level.
Pressure off the inbound. 12-point lead. Vesely right now, 9 points, 3 boards, an assist, 3 steals for Jan. Nedovic just hounding Ruben. And everybody has to come out. They finally found Ruben for the 3. 9-point Serbian lead.
Now they can start thinking. Now you have to think about it. If they hold this now until the end of the quarter, they can really think about how they're doing unless Teodosic starts making shots.
Speaking of which,
was he 4 from 5 in this period? He was 0 for 4 at the end of the half.
Hey, it's his game, it's his ball, he's just sharing it. Vesely, that's the way Vesely loves to play. Satoransky just fed meat to the dog. That gets Vesely really involved, really pumped up. Now he's got a guard, Radulica, and he steals, but he also fouls. And that is the 5th foul. I'm sorry, the 3rd foul in the Czech Republic. Third foul for Vesely. Looking for another steal.
But he played behind the biggest body that Serbia have. Get over it and step over the top. He did that earlier on with Brcevic and tried to deal with Jokic. Lucic has just got him down low and just seals him off. Don't fight him. Use your quickness. Come round. And if it's demanding, it's the sort of thing he's going to have to do if his team want to make the final.
About a 15-kilo difference there.
Yeah.
Makes both. 40 seconds until the end of the third. Try to post up Satoransky, but being denied by Serbia. Welsh. Stefan Jovic with the rebound. Up front, Daniljevic over to Kalinic for the three. It's in! A couple of threes at the end of the quarter. 15 seconds. We'll reach the end of it.
Well, it was 10, it's 15.
It was 9, it was 9. Satoransky in and out. Vesely with a putback. No foul. And that will be the end of this third quarter. 6 straight points, a couple of threes for Serbia, and they stretch out to a 15-point lead at the end of 4. A three.
Košarkaški savez Srbije ima čast da se pohvali svojom podrškom reprezentaciji košarkaša u kolicima Srbije. Prošle godine smo zajedničkom akcijom uspeli da obezbedimo.
Well, statistically now, what was a struggling statistic for the Serbians is now up to 43%. Haven't missed a free throw. The Czechs haven't been to the free throw line but twice in that third quarter. The rebound advantage is trying to, is beginning to stretch to a 27 to 22. And it's the nature, if that's the right way to word it, the nature of the fact of a deeper roster starting to wear down a group that doesn't have as much depth, and we're giving Vesely a hard time, but he's having to play a lot of minutes against 3 big guys on the inside. They've got to find other ways to rest while guys are on the floor. It's a tough ask, but if you want to make the Olympic Games and you're the Czech Republic, those are things you have to do.
In the third quarter, Sasha Djordjevic's team made 6 of 9 threes.
Yep.
So they're packing the paint. Remember, we talked about it.
Yeah.
They're choosing their poison. Kids are choosing
absolutely.
the poison, and he's now drinking it too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he changed anything with their amount making shots they missed, but I'm a bit, stats to me are such an important thing in terms of over the period of a game, over the period of a tournament. You play to stats, and all of a sudden, if they'd have made 6 from 9 in the first half, we'd have said, oh, they probably won't make 6 from 9 in the second. And then, so it's pretty much evened itself out. They're a low 30% three-point shooting team across tournaments, and that's what they'll end up in this one. But in bunches, when they have the right people on the floor, and when they need it, it's not a coincidence. When they need people like Teodosic to score, when it gets to 9, that's what he does. He does what he ever has to do in any given circumstance. He's just a superstar of the game.
Serbia keeps winning the points off turnovers battle, 15-9 over the Czechs.
I mean, to carry that point on, that's why Jokic is such a big deal here, because if he becomes another superstar of the game, they start to have 3 or 4 guys that could really put them in a situation where they're a medal prospect.
With Teodosic on that lineup.
Yeah.
He came in second to the U.S. in the World Cup of Basketball in 2014 in Spain. Another deflection by Vesely. They don't count in the stat sheet. He's had at least 3 that I can remember.
Yeah, you'd hope someone on your team is in your manager is actually reflecting deflections, and his quickness. He could get deflection after deflection on the wider man.
Foul by Satoransky.
Personal foul, number 8, Thomas
First
is
by the Czech, is second. Down 15 against Serbia.
So important that the Czech Republic, get a stop, because otherwise there'll become a resignation of the result, and then that's game over.
Nedovic. Raduljica, open shot. He'll take it and make it. He's having himself some fun today. You can see a smile.
Well, and look where he was, in the first half of the last group game. He wasn't in a great place, and Djordjevic literally made him work that out on the floor, and he ended the game pretty well, and he's carried that on in this semi-final.
Nice fake, and Kalinic falls for that one. It's his foul. Jokic will come back in for Kalinic. Just committed his 4th personal foul. Benda and Vesely, the only Czechs in any sort of foul trouble, each with 3. Ruben misses a tough shot, in Jokic with another rebound. It's his 7th. 16 minutes, 14 points, 7 boards for him. Just K. Mead is going to pat that stat sheet a little bit more now. Oh, how did he make that pass? And a foul by Ruben, and Raduljica didn't like it, but all's well that ends well. How did he make that pass?
It's just the great thing about, for me, is that he sees an angle. He sees an angle, and if you're in a coaching book, you're like, that's the wrong side to make that pass. to the wrong hand because the defense will do it and get round.
And what confidence he had on Radulica that he was reading the same thing.
Well, that's the great thing. We've said this before. If you are Radulica, you know that if you're open, you're going to get it. So it's never a surprise. You know, because with some guards, you'd have been surprised that pass even got to you. So therefore, you're expecting it, you're ready for it. And he just finds people. People are better because he plays with them.
Yeah, Loche says that there's no better chemistry, though, between himself and Nenad Kristic. That's the best. So this is pretty good. Tough play for Jovic. He thought it was fouled. Ali, with Ruben. And a timeout by Sasha Djordjevic. Serbs thought they were fouled on the other end. Jokic didn't want to show up in the post.
Well, they're 15 down. They've caused, and Djordjevic again. There's a respect thing all the way through this. He's not emptying his bench. It's a semi-final game. As soon as the Czechs get a couple in a succession, he takes the timeout. He doesn't want the level to drop. It's a compliment to the Czech team because they've played him so often that if they let up, they know they can score. And it's they're just that little bit short. Salaranski's not quite Teodosic. Welsh is past his best. He's been a great player. This is not quite Jokic. Everything's not quite. And that reflects in a 15-point game. They've played pretty well at times, the Czech. They just can't do it every possession. Against a team tonight that's been pretty relentless. They've been at a level. 75 points, 8 minutes to go. They could get close to 100 points because they've just played very, very well.
.15 serving lead, and they've got the ball. The Serbs beat the Czech Republic 89-75 in the quarterfinals of Eurobasket. How about that? What else do we have to see now? Jokic with a long-range shot. Auda going left inside to Vesely, and a foul on Radulica. Interesting note, this is a 9th Olympic qualifying tournament in history. The first 6 of those prior 8 were held in the host country, the country that hosted the Olympic. Not they were already qualified, but they were hosted by them because they were basically trying out the basketball facility, the clock, the infrastructure. So it's a rarity for the host to be in the qualifying tournament. In 2008, the Greeks were in, and they won the semis to qualify against Puerto Rico. In that instance, 2 teams qualified. Here, the Serbs have to win to be in as hosts. And when they've been in situations like this in major intercontinental tournaments in Belgrade, whether it's Yugoslavia or as Serbia, Montenegro, or Serbia, they're 2-2 in games that decide a berth or decide a major tournament.
And the pressure's going to build. If they win today, then it's like, they've still got to finish it.
And Radulica has been grabbing an assist here and an assist there. He's having fun today.
There's a spring in his stride. He's rushing back. He's doing a really nice job. He's assisting. He's had at least 3, and he's doing a nice job.
Nice move. Extra pass. Contact. Out attacks the basket. He gets fouled, and he gets the continuation and the foul. He wasn't going to get the 3 out here. Nope. He got it the old-fashioned way. He earned it.
That's how much they're not letting up. If you want to get time now, and with Coach Djordjevic, you cannot let up. So Nedovic just closed out hard, stayed with him, didn't let him get the layup. It's going to force him to go to the free throw line.
Markovic will come back into the game. Nedovic will take a breather. Markovic can guard at least 3 positions extremely well. I wonder how he'd do as a power forward if he had to. Such a great defender.
Well, it's a 3-guard look with 2 bigs, which is, you know, not the norm. And especially now you've got Bogdanovic and Teodosic on the wings with Markovic at the point. You've got to extend to guard everybody there.
With both Jokic and Radulica essentially with a foot in the lane. Bogdanovic, a floater. It's good. He's got such a nice touch.
Absolutely nice touch, and he's added the ability to score, you know, in traffic and get hit, and that makes him a very potent threat.
Corner 3 for Rubin, no good. Rebounded by Bogdanovic. 18-point Serbian lead, 6:20 to go in this 4th quarter. Jokic and Radulica with the same notion. Here comes the maestro. How did he do that? Oh! And the foul by Auda. I'm telling you. Look at this. It's easy for the Serbs. So easy. A standing O.
And when you say standing up, there is no part of this arena that didn't stand up for that. I mean, you don't need to analyze any of that. Just look at it, enjoy it, and be impressed.
Again, whoop, whoop, and the foul.
All it needed was the dunk, and that'd have been the highlight of the week, let alone the night.
You got to admire Auda for getting in the game and saying, wait a minute, wait a minute. And he grabs the rebound off the miss by Jokic. 19-point Serbian lead. We approach the midway point of this 4th quarter. Rubin misses. No second chances now for the Czechs. Here comes the double team. But look at the dribble on the big guy. Somebody's alone. It's Radulica. It's in! Timeout. Ronan Ginsberg, timeout. The Czech Republic. We're down 21 with 5:33 to go in the 4th.
Oh, this is that when we said things like, oh, if they keep it close enough to have to think. They're not thinking anymore. They're just having fun out here. You know, you've got Jokic handling it, looking for a pass. He'll get an assist for that pass. The beautiful behind the back, the great manufactured pass, the possession before. And, you know, it's fun. This is what people in this country pay to watch basketball for.
It amazes me, though. You have to understand something. The Serbs are some of the tallest people on the planet in terms of average height. I think Montenegro may just nip them. I think the Dutch are right behind the Serbs. You would think that basketball would be a sport they take to naturally. And they love basketball. It amazes me that football is so popular here. I understand we're in Europe. I understand it's tradition. This is a sport they play at their best. Consistently. They're world powers in this sport. Without a doubt.
It's just one of those, you know, soccer, football, whatever, you know, version that anyone calls it. It's just that level of game. It's that level of money. It's that. That's what it is. But let's not take it away that they fill this arena of 20,000 people in games that really matter. Their clubs fill this arena in big games, so it's a huge sport here.
Record attendance here was precisely for a basketball game. As Peter Benda comes back onto the court. Rubin, corner 3, this time from the right corner. Same result though. Offensive rebound by Auda and a foul by Markovic.
Personal foul, number 9,
And the other thing about, as Teodosic sits down, it's not just an applause or whatever else because he has this number or that number. It's almost these guys understand the game, and it's a respect of his ability.
Deflection by Nedovic. Inside, again. dribble, the smoothness, the control. And by the way, he didn't have to give you a fake. He would have given you a fake if he needed to. As we have Jokic now.
And Jokic is limping out.
Yes.
I have no idea like what happened. I would expect it because he didn't go down. Maybe it's just a knee-on-knee type bang, but you know, we'll have to check that out. But
he will go to the end of the bench.
If they could ill afford to lose anybody in this tournament with his performances, it's him. Especially when you think about where they're going to have to play tomorrow and who they're going to have to play. Losing Jokic could be a big loss.
19 points, 8 boards, 2 assists for Nikola. Patrick Auda ran out of room. Just ran out of room. It's a turnover. It's turnover number 14 for the Czechs. Bogdanovic, it's in, off the feet. Raduljica is just spreading joy right now in the half court. And the ball is just off the fingertips of Peter Benda. Hoska will come in, Jimmy Welsh back in, Patrick Auda will take a seat. And Raduljica will walk away to the bench. He is perfect from the field, 4 for 4. He's got 12 points, 2 boards, and listen to this, 6 assists.
Just what you expect from your big man.
Oh yeah. Co-leader with Milos Teodosic.
And he goes out to a standing ovation, but half of that was from the next Stimac comes in, so.
Oh, they love Stimac. According to Djordjevic, the heart of this team. Last-minute replacement for a couple of injured serves. Wouldn't make this tournament. A rare bad shot by the serve. Berchevich tangling with Benda. Malisa, short. Zatoransky and Welsh just got popped in the mouth inadvertently by Nedovic. Nedovic holds his elbow. There you go. Little elbow to the mouth. Welsh will go to the bench. Yeri right now with 10 points and 5 assists for the rebound. Satoransky brings it up the court. Martin Krish also in for the Czechs. Palisa keeps missing now. He started out well against the Japanese, then he went into a slump, and then he ended up streaky again at the end of that game. Markovic with a hesitation, cannot finish, but there's a foul.
Yeah, you're seeing the difference between playing against the Japanese with a little bit of heart that they had and against a team that makes him rush it a little bit more.
The Japanese are here watching this game, the entire crew watching the game behind the Serbian basket as Markovic makes the first free throw. Stefan Markovic, 28 years old, born right here in Belgrade. Now plays for Malaga. Malaga has not extended an offer for him for next season. He's likely to move on to another team. Now we see some of the bench players we had not seen up until this point for Serbia, including Nemanja Dangubic. Palisa behind the back against Simonovic. Nowhere to go. Tough shot. Okay. All right. Misses the open shots, makes it one of the toughest shots around. Against a great defender in Simonovic.
The number of times that we've commented about it's a tough shot because of the defense that Serbia played. It is relentless, and to be at this level, it has to be relentless. Doesn't matter you're up by as many as they are.
In rhythm. He started game 1 against Puerto Rico. Has seen limited minutes since. Simonovic off the bench with a 3. stretching out to a 29-point Serbian lead. The Czechs are stuck at 7 points in this quarter. Satoransky with a baseline jumper. Tomas now has 14 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, but 4 turnovers. He's had at least 3 turnovers in every game so far in Belgrade. Stefan Jovic wants to pick by Stima. Deflected by Satoransky. Alisa with an open 3. Let's see. See the ball go through the rim, and all of a sudden it opens up. A 3. Minute 20, and they're tasting it. Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock in Belgrade, Puerto Rico will face Serbia. As they did in the opening game, Puerto Rico lost that game by 6. But according to Coach Eddie Casiano, as T-Man scores and everybody celebrates, they love him here. Puerto Rico has played always its worst game of any of the 2 tournaments that Casiano, in which Casiano has led them as head coach at the outset. They played their best game at the end. Well, they're going to need their best game against host Serbia in the final. A ticket to Rio on the line for the Serbs and the Boricuas. Fritz, nice move.
Well, a little bit of Serbia in terms of the movement, the back cut and the extra pass. And the Czech Republic haven't played badly. Let's not get too down on. They haven't played badly. They've just come up against an absolute juggernaut of a performance by Serbia tonight.
Jakub Čirina also on the court for the Czech Republic. Very, very little time. He's got the ball right now. Čirina plays for BK Opava. That's technically Koška denied by Jovic. Čirina misses. Now, with 10 seconds to go, everybody stands up. The coaches congratulate each other. The Serbs are in the final. Serbia beats the Czech Republic 96-72. They advance to the final in this qualifying tournament, and they will face Puerto Rico again for a ticket to the 2016 Rio Olympic Games on the line.
Reprezentacija Serbije I reprezentacija Puerto Rika. Samo jedna ekipa ide dalje.
In the second half, the Serbs scored 51 points and allowed 36. As we take a look at final numbers.
Well, and again, like I normally say, 96-72 are the only numbers that really matter. 44% from the three-point line, and they were down there at 20% in the first half. Rebound-wise, they just built a little bit of control. 28 assists, and I know 6 of those belong to Relicha, but this team has just done just a better level than the Czech Republic.
Out of 35 made baskets, and that's something we've now seen for 2 straight games for the Serbs. They did it against Angola, an incredibly high percentage of their shots made out of assists. That's when they're playing their game.
Yeah.
So it's taken them 3 games now to reach a point where they're just cooking right now.
Yeah, they are, and if you're going to play against them, it's like make people make plays. Don't let their movement of the basketball get out of trouble. Thinking we're just on one thing for Puerto Rico is they got passed apart in the first game. They've just got to find a way to make people make plays to beat them.
So Puerto Rico in 2007 in the region had to beat the host to advance to the Olympics in 2008 in Beijing. They lost to the U.S. Then they went to the Olympic qualifier in Greece. And to get to the semifinal, which would have given to the finals, which would have given them the pass, they had to beat the host, the Greeks, and they lost. In 2011, they went to Mar del Plata in the region. And to get to the final and the pass to London, they had to beat the host, Argentina. They missed a 3-pointer at the end to lose. And tomorrow, they have to get over the host again for the 4th straight time to get a ticket to the Olympics. And it's going to be Serbia playing at a really high level. It's going to be great.
It's going to be looking forward to it already. It's going to be a great night, and you know that this gym is going to be packed. And what a great stage for Arroyo and Barrera to try and come out with a result that would just is a huge result. Big opportunity, big test.
And for Yuri Welsh, you mentioned earlier, it may be the last major international intercontinental tournament he plays. And it's been a pleasure to watch him play. I have a feeling that you definitely will see him in Eurobasket qualifying and eventually Eurobasket if they make it. And this team probably has the goods to make it onto Eurobasket 2017.
You're going to probably find out, because I think he's going to go to the press conference, Jerry Welsh. And if Jerry Welsh goes, you know, he may make that announcement. But if he does, he has been a phenomenal basketball player for the Czech Republic, and there are plenty of clubs around Europe who will have great memories of Jerry Welsh.
So it was a 9-point difference at the end of the half. The Czechs played even with the Serbs in the second quarter. They gave themselves a little bit of hope, but boy, that second half, and Milos Teodosic became the scorer for the team. And then the facilitator, Radojica, got into the game. Everybody rebounded, everybody defends, and the only question right now is the condition of the knee of Nikola Jokic with 19 points, 8 boards, who's been clearly becoming a key figure also in the Serb team.
Yeah, that'll be key. If you think about some of the activity and the quickness that Puerto Rico have around the ring, he's a factor if he's not playing.
What a night in Belgrade.
Great night.
And what a night tomorrow night will be, starting at 9 o'clock local time. The final score here, Serbia eliminates the Czech Republic 96-72. They give themselves a chance tomorrow night to get a ticket to Rio, something that the Serbs haven't done in 12 years. Go to an Olympic Games. For Coach Mark Clark, this is Alvaro Martin. Thank you for joining us. Good night.